All right, as I mentioned in the last video, we're going to talk about sacrifices today. I made a post the other day, and it had a picture of from Survivor Series last year, War Games, when the Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, and the Usos teamed up with CM Punk, and they won their Survivor Series. And then at the end, they all put their ones up acknowledging the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, except for CM Punk. And I just made the thing like when all the guys on my baseball team were talking, oh, let's go out to the bars after the games in the summers. And then there's me doing the CM Punk, the go to sleep. That's me going to bed. I'm going home and going to bed because baseball games are way too late as it is. Because for some reason we basically only play night games anymore, which kind of sucks. I prefer day games when I'm actually awake. But yeah, after those I go home and go to bed. And that's just a sacrifice that I have decided to make. I sacrifice going out, getting drunk, staying out till 3 a.m. I don't need to do that anymore. I did enough of that in my 20s that I don't need to do it in my 30s, in my 40s as I get older. That's just a sacrifice I chose, that nightlife, that party life. I give that up. I want a lean, athletic body, so I don't need to do that crap anymore. It was not giving me any benefits. It wasn't helping me. It was just destroying my body, basically, and just making me feel like crap. And you think you feel good, but you just don't know what feeling good actually feels like. And ultimately, whether it's building a leaner athletic body or building the life you want, maybe it's a new job or starting a family, you're going to have to make sacrifices throughout your life. And that's just part of it. It's part of becoming an adult. It's part of becoming a better person. It's part of just living your best life. And when I'm talking about leaner, more athletic body, we need to talk about sacrifice and some of the things you give up. Like, as I mentioned, going out with friends and eating out. You need to figure out the what works for you. So maybe you're a fast food junkie and all you do is eat fast food. But it's hard to lose fat and have energy when you're eating all this highly processed food all the time. So you're wondering, wow, why do I feel so sluggish? Why is my belly bulging over my belt loop or my belt waistband, whatever? Well, it's because all you do is eat fast food and junk food all the time. You're not eating real whole nutrient dense real food that fills you up and has you feeling good and energizes you. So you got to look at these things that you can sacrifice. So maybe it's giving up that fast food. Maybe it's giving up going out with your friends every weekend and drinking. It's quitting drinking. It's quitting smoking. It's quitting vaping. Those are things that you can sacrifice. Are those things you're willing to give up or aren't willing to give up? And that's something you have to figure out too. Is your non-negotiables? What aren't you willing to give up and get rid of? Because you're gonna have to, if you ultimately want to live your best life. You got to give up things. It's choosing to go to bed, or it's choosing to stay up and scroll Instagram, or stay up and watch TV or play video games. And I'm never going to give up video games or TV fully because I enjoy those things, but I sacrifice maybe the amount of time I spend on them, the amount of time I record TV more. Like, I'll record rather than Monday Night Raw is 3 hours. I'll watch the first hour live, and then I'll go back. Now it's on Netflix. I don't have to record it. I can just turn it on the next morning when I'm working out and watch it there. So it's those type of sacrifices. So if I'm going to bed at 8 o'clock, I'm not staying up until 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 in the morning anymore. That stuff's not worth it to me anymore. And you got to figure out what is worth it and what you can sacrifice and what you got to get rid of. What things you got to change. Change is hard. Humans, we don't like change. We gravitate towards the comfort. We want to stay what's easy for us. Uh, what's easy might just be sitting around doing nothing, watching TV all day. But you know you're never going to be athletic again like the quarterbacks or football players you're watching on TV, or the dunkers you see in the dunk contest like last night. You're never going to be athletic. Yeah, you're probably not going to ever be that athletic as those guys anyway, especially as we get older. Like, I'm never going to be able to jump as high as Mac McClung. Maybe I'll be able to dunk one day. That's still a goal. Touching the rim is a good right now for me, but we want to get better. And I'm not going to do that by sitting around just watching dunk contests. I got to go out and jump and sprint and lift heavy weights. That's not easy. That's not, for most people, that's uncomfortable. It's kind of gotten comfortable to me because I've been doing it for so long, and it's just part of my routine now. Part of my life is training. But we don't want to change. We want to stay comfortable, and we got to learn to change. Happens when you go and get uncomfortable. So that's going from sitting on the couch to squatting to lifting to sprinting to jumping, and it can be tough. As human beings, we don't want that. We want the easy thing. Most people are always looking for the quick fix. You don't want that. The journey that it really is. It's a long journey. And if you just stick in your comfort zone, and then you just wonder why. Oh, why am I overweight? Because I sit on the couch all day. Why am I have energy? Because I eat junk food all day. And instead, get out of your comfort zone and start doing the things that you know you need to do, but are not necessarily comfortable for you because you got to change. And because ultimately you know why you're not where you're at. You just aren't willing to make the necessary changes, and that's fine. If you don't want to, you don't want to. Everyone's got their time and place. A lot of times we wait too long until it's too late and something bad happens. Maybe it's some sort of illness or medical scare, or whatever it may be, an injury. We wait until we're 50 pounds overweight to start trying to lose weight. We wait till we get diabetes to stop eating junk food all the time. We wait till whatever we have, I don't know, a stroke or a heart attack or something like that to finally start taking care of ourselves. We're so dependent on the quote unquote medical system, which is so broken. It's not preventative care. Where preventative care is actually training and eating well and all these things we should be doing. We know we should be doing, but we just don't because we're reactionary as human beings. We wait for something bad to happen before we start taking care of ourselves, when it should be the other way around, and changing those habits earlier so we don't have to worry about, yes, these things can still happen, but it's gonna give yourself a better chance, better opportunity. I'm the same way. It took me getting worse before I changed for the better. I was almost 200 pounds at 5'8", nothing pleasing. It wasn't good 200 pounds. And then I went over really restrictive, got down to like really lean, and was crushed my testosterone because I was still partying and drinking and staying up late, but I was lifting and eating better, but I wasn't totally taking care of everything. And then you realize you have a testosterone of a 90-year-old man. And that's no way to live either. No energy. You're always sleeping. You're always injured. So it took for me all these stupid things happen, being reactive rather than being preventative and getting ahead of things to start making the necessary changes because I was comfortable in that life. But then I was like, screw it, I need to do something, and I did it. We all do things at our own time, our own pace. I can't tell you when to start or how to. I can tell you how to start. I can tell you what you need to do, but it's up for you to make the decision to start and figure out what sacrifices you need to make. I need to get rid of the drinking and partying. I need to get rid of eating Taco Bell and Taco John's and every night or every day, because I needed to change. And it takes that stuff. A lot of times it takes looking in the mirror, it takes stepping on the scale, whatever that moment is. It takes seeing that number of your testosterone is 37. Whatever these moments are, it sets off a reaction and leads us to figuring out what sacrifices we are willing to make and what need to make to ultimately live the life we want. And if that's to look better, to feel better, to move better, it comes with changing your nutrition, changing your sleep habits, changing your training habits, and figuring out what you can get rid of and what you can add in, what is going to benefit, these habits that are going to benefit you. Do you have to get rid of everything and stop everything? No. And it's probably better off that you take it slow and not just start everything, get rid of all the crap, all the bad habits at once, and then add in good habits. Because then you're still not going to know what's working, what's not working, what you can stick with, what you can't stick with. It's better to take it slow and build and build and build, one at a time, two at a time, than change everything at once, because that usually doesn't stick, because you're not actually building. You're just kind of looking for that. A lot of it's that quick fix, those 30-day challenges and 75 hard or whatever it is, rather than 75 years of work, rather than 75 days. Building habits, building what things you need to do to get to where you want to be, rather than, again, just jumping in and changing everything at once and not really having a plan and a building the journey, living the journey, just looking at the end result. So again, you are going to have to sacrifice things at time, and you don't have to get rid of, stop doing everything, but figure out what works for you, what you want to do, and what's going to help you ultimately get to where you want to be, to build that leaner, more athletic life, or in your job, what is going to make you to make a certain amount of money you want, or the family life you want to live, or whatever it is. Again, this is not just in health and wellness, but it's in everyday life. So sacrifices are going to need to be made in order to ultimately get to where you want to be and be who you want to be. So again, start figuring that out. Figure out what sacrifice you can make, what you're willing to make, those non-negotiables. Maybe it's something like, I have to get my daily steps in. So maybe that means I got to give up. I can't play video games until I do, or something like that. Those are things that I do. Like, I reward myself for when I do meet my stuff, but I won't play video games, or I won't buy a new video game or something like that until I get a new client or something, whatever it may be. But it's these sacrifices that you can make to ultimately be the best version of yourself. So if you want, drop your comments in below what sacrifices you are going to make, or are willing to make, or have made in your life to help you build that leaner, more athletic body. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll be back to talk to you soon.